I was just speaking with a New Jersey mayor, and he said that he wishes that the government was more transparent. He thinks they know more than they're letting on. And I want to read you a joint statement from DHS,
Yeah,
FBI, FAA, and the DoD. This is what they said about the drones in part. Quote,
yeah.
we have not identified anything anomalous and do not assess the activity to date to present a national security or public
Hmm.
safety risk over the civilian airspace in New Jersey or other states in the Northeast. President Biden also said he doesn't believe anything nefarious is happening with these drones. So, do you think that the government needs to be more transparent with all of these drones in the sky? Because essentially, that lawmaker told me, hey, a lot of my constituents are seeing a lot of things floating up that they haven't seen before. And the government is essentially saying nothing to see here.
Yeah, I think I would phrase that a little different. I don't think they're not saying there's nothing to see here. If you carefully read the way they're saying that, they're saying we have no reason to believe that they're up to no good. That doesn't mean that somebody out there isn't up to no good, but they're never going to say we're 100% positive because no one can tell you that. And um, and unfortunately, the airspace in our country is not as well monitored as it might be. And some of this is traced back to laws that are hanging over long before drones were a thing. So, examples are that a little, 250-gram drone you buy online at Amazon and fly around for fun, under the law is an aircraft just like that 747 full of hundreds of passengers. And, if you interfere with the operator, it's the same as interfering with the pilot of that airliner. If you try to shoot it down under the law, it's the same thing. And then there's the whole problem of understanding what's up there in the first place. And that gets to, what are you going to do with? These things are tiny for the most part. Radar doesn't see them unless you get very specialized radars, and those are very short range. So the ones that you're hearing about coming up on these systems to New Jersey and New York, they're only going to have maybe, 5, 6 miles of range. That's not a lot. Um, the other means of tracking these, then there are a number of them, acoustic, electronic, and others. They're all also typically short range, and some are frankly prohibited because of other laws around things that don't seem to make sense, but they are, like wiretapping, computer hacking, and other things. So these laws need to be updated, and Congress needs to move on that. And they've been trying to, there have been laws pending in Congress for years now, and they just haven't done it.
There have been a lot of conspiracy theories, different types of theories about who's operating these drones, what's
Yeah.
going on, especially because people feel that the government isn't being
Yeah.
super transparent about this. Everything from, hey, these could be aliens to maybe something a little more sinister, like this could be a foreign adversary.
Yeah.
Are there any theories that, as the expert, you can debunk?
I can't debunk any of those, but I can certainly say to me they don't hang together logically. You know, um, First of all, as far as these drones have very short ranges, they we're talking 30, 40 minutes of flight time, for most drones, up to around 55 pounds, which is going to be almost every one of them, or almost all of them in the US. Um, so that's one thing. Another is, where are they going to be coming from? That if that's going to be it, they certainly aren't coming from ships offshore and that kind of thing, right? Um, there certainly have been cases recently, national security related cases, where you had people flying drones to take photographs of military installations, and there have been arrests made. And this stuff is not ignored. It is, just you gotta catch somebody in the act to address it.
And if these have such a short range of 30 to 40 minutes of battery life in flight, is there any
Yeah.
indication of where they're landing?
Yeah, it's pretty tough. So there is a technology called remote identification. It's been mandated on all drones since September of 2022, new drones sold in the US. And with the right equipment, and an app on your phone is potentially the right equipment, you can look up there, see a drone, and you can know how high is it, how far is it, how fast is it going, what direction is it going, where did it take off from, and even exactly where is that operator on the ground right at this moment. That's called remote ID. Older drones don't have that, but as of last March, they have to use a retrofit technology called broadcast module that does all of those things, except it does not identify where that operator is on the ground. There's technical reasons.